Hi everyone and welcome back to the One Pod Life podcast. This week I spoke to Asa Phillips and about his golfing journey, how his trip over to America to Nebraska didn't quite go as he planned, about a break that he had from golf where he didn't play for 4 years, and then how we come up with a unique sponsorship opportunity. And of course he gives us his free tips on what he thinks any amateur golfer should be doing. So again, get the notepad ready and listen to Asa Phillips. Okay, so welcome to the One Pod Life podcast. Asa, how you getting on, mate?
Yes, all good. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
All good my side.
No, good, mate. So how's lockdown treating you then?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's been quite nice. Obviously we miss our everyday hustle and bustle and what we love to do every day. Don't get me wrong. But I've found it quite nice to build good habits and stuff like that and focus on, I had 6 weeks where I really didn't do anything. So it was focused on getting fit and making good choices with diet and bits and bobs like that. And so, yeah, I found it as well as it's not nice to not see friends and family. It's been quite nice to have 6 weeks to, focus on yourself, build good habits. And, and just try and get better, even if it's a bad situation that I'm not the only one that's in it. Everybody's in it, so just try and make the best of the bad situation, really. So, it's been okay.
Good stuff. Yeah, I think I'm a bit late to the whole getting into routines and getting fit thing. I should have started this 12 weeks ago. I started about 4 weeks ago. I was like, already I've had all this time to do something. I've not done it. So, but now I'm on it now. So hopefully I can shed the pounds and get down to that desired weight that I'm after. But yeah, we'll see. But no. So thanks you for coming onto the podcast. And like I've said to you before, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to start the podcast. As many people know, listen to this is I've got aspirations of becoming a professional golfer to be at sort of level where you guys are right now. I just wanted to talk to professional golfers like yourself and just get insights and hear your stories, because I don't think they get told as much as they should do.
Yeah.
And just understand what it is actually really like to be a professional golfer on sort of your level. So yeah, I guess we'll start with the biggest question as always is when did you start playing golf?
When did I start playing golf? I must have been, I was probably about 10, 11. 10 or 11 years old. I'm very fortunate. I grew up basically on a golf course.
Nice. And it took you 10 years to play golf?
Say again?
And it took you 10 years to play golf? Yeah,
I know, yeah. I was always big into football and all of that stuff to start with. And then, my dad, he played to a decent level, played off 6. That was the lowest he got to, and played in just a local society and stuff like that. And he started inviting me along, and I fell in love with it immediately, really. And then it wasn't really much of a question whether to quit football and play golf. I kind of it was already decision made. I just wanted to focus on golf. And I lived just off the back of one of the tee boxes of a really nice course, probably ranked one of the top 2 courses in Oxfordshire where I live.
Wow, nice.
Huntercombe Golf Club, and lived there. And we, living in the village, you kind of had right of way of because it's common land. You got to play the course as well, which was really good. Just started playing around with there, going to my dad's society days with him and, him and a load of his mates, and he'd take us along and we'd always have a good laugh, and they were always really welcoming for us. Me and my little brother, we took it all up at the same time.
Good stuff.
And then, not much schoolwork and homework was being done. It was more just as soon as I got home from school, I don't even think I changed my clothes. It was just grab the club straight onto the course. And and then hear from my mum in a very solid tone later on that I shouldn't have done that. But
hey, it's worked out okay now, hasn't it? So it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it.
No, good stuff. All right, cool. So obviously, your dad got you into the golf. Obviously, that's probably been your main sort of influence into playing the game. Or have you had any other outside influences at all?
It was mainly my dad, really. And my brother he loved golf too, and then my little cousin as well. My younger cousin, we all lived kind of in the same road. We all lived pretty close. Right. All 3 of us we all just loved it, really, straight away. And and yeah, Dad used to come out with us and stuff and make sure that we're behaving. But yeah, it was just mainly my dad.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, like you said, you realised straight away as soon as you started playing the game, you wanted to play golf. This was the sport for you. But when did it sort of dawn on you that actually this could be more than just a sport that I play, and it could be something I'm actually quite good at to move forward with?
Yeah, I mean, straight away, if I'm honest, it was that was kind of the era where Tiger was just absolutely dominating.
Right. Okay.
So that was like 2001 and kind of time. So Tiger was around, and it was just straight away. All I wanted to do was do what he was doing at the time.
Right.
He's not my favourite golfer as such, but he's been the biggest inspiration to getting me into the game and why I love it and why I want to do what I want to do, basically. Straight away.
Side note question: who is your favourite golfer?
Sergio Garcia.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why. I just love. I'm quite a fiery guy, and so is he. And I kind of relate to him, and I've got a very similar swing with lag and stuff like that. So I've always just been quite
a fan of his.
Yeah, massive fan of his, really. So
interesting. Mine's Jason Day.
Oh, okay, nice pick. Yeah, no, he's solid too. To be fair,
yeah, definitely. But no, if I could swing a club like him, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, he can play.
He can, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. You just wanted to be like Tiger and do everything he was doing.
Yeah, So I wanted to be a pro straight away. Not straight away. I'd say it got apparent when it was coming up to leaving school around the age of 14, 15.
Okay.
I didn't want to do anything else. I hated school. Couldn't stand it. I was not a good student.
Right.
And, I didn't listen at school. I went to school all the time, but never listened.
Daydreaming about golf.
Yeah, exactly. It just caused trouble and stuff just because I just didn't want to be there. Didn't enjoy it other than PE, which everybody enjoyed. But, right up until I was about ready to leave school, that's when it was kind of like, right, what do I do now? Do I look at an apprenticeship or, my mum and my dad wasn't really, he always wanted me to be a golfer, where my mum was kind of like, look at other options, look at this, look at that, maybe an apprenticeship or something and I was just like, no, not a chance, or this is what I want to do. And from then really, I picked up a part-time job as a lifeguard, just to pay my way and stuff. I just, around that age, it was like 16, 17, just passing my driving test.
Okay.
Picked up a part-time job and was just trying to play as much as I could, and that was it from there really.
Okay. So obviously you by that point, obviously you were a member of the golf club by your house. What sort of handicap did you have at the age of sort of 16?
I think 16. I was off one, I think.
Well, okay.
One or two at 16. I wasn't like one of the low. I grew up with, your Tyrrell and Eddie. I grew up in the same county teams as them, and
right, okay.
They were kind of off +2, +3 around that age, and I was off I think I was off 1, 1, 2, maybe. I don't think I ever got scratched that young.
Right. Okay.
So I'd say 1 or 2, yeah.
So he was a pretty solid golfer then, like 1 or 2, moving into sort of 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. We could compete. It was good. It was good fun.
Definitely. Yeah. So at that age, was you then starting to play, like you said, if Tyrrell and Pepperell were sort of in your sort of county teams, were you playing in the same sort of county teams as them or against them, or what was going on with that?
Yeah, not so much. Eddie didn't play too much county right. stuff. He was more in the England squad and stuff. I played a little bit with Tyrrell.
Okay.
Played a little bit with him in county squads and coaching squads. I don't think I ever played a match with him, but they were always around in the county, and I'm still I still get on well with Tyrrell.
Great stuff.
Yeah, he's still a friend of mine, and which is quite cool, and see him when he's home and whatnot. But it was good back then in the BB&O.
BB&O. So what was your career then after? So you're 16 years old. You're working part time as a lifeguard. You're trying to make it to eventually become a professional golfer. So was there a certain turning point or anything that happened in that sort of time and space that you remember that sort of made you tick over to the next level?
Yeah, from that age, I started lifeguarding, doing that stuff, and enjoyed it. Got into my fitness and stuff like that as well. Done my fitness instructor's course, and it was all a little bit. I didn't really have a structure as such. So yeah, you could have said from the time I left school, I was pretty much a full-time golfer. But I had looking back on it now and the way I'm structured and disciplined with my golf now and how seriously I take it. Back then, I didn't have any of that. I'd wake up at 10 o'clock as a 16-year-old kid does. Wake up at 10 a.m., have breakfast, go play 18 holes, come home and think that I've worked hard. Where it was very, very silly of me to think that back then, and I wish I kind of had a little bit more guidance back then. But it's what it is. But then, just carried on. Winning junior opens, playing county matches, stuff like that. The winning part of it was always something that I loved, and loved being in the mix at tournaments. So throughout the summer, every summer, from the age of 16 to probably 20, I was just playing everything there was, men's opens, junior opens, whatever I could play in, really.
Okay.
And then I actually went to America on a golf scholarship.
Well, I didn't know that. That's good then. Whereabouts did you go?
I was in Nebraska, so.
Oh wow! Okay.
It sounds pretty cold, and it was pretty cold, but it wasn't. Again, looking back on it with a bit more guidance and stuff, I probably would have chose to not do it.
Oh right, okay. Why is that?
It was just, Nebraska probably wasn't the best state to go to be trying to play golf, and it was good. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot out there, not just about golf, but about myself, and I kind of grew up while I was out there too. Okay. It changed me a lot in terms of how I held myself, and just as a person, I changed a lot. It was really good in that aspect.
Okay.
But golf side of things, it was a little bit. Again, like I said, what I needed was some structure, some discipline, and it didn't really have that, so it didn't really match me. So I actually came home after 2 years instead of seeing out 4 years at university. So,
but that was hard to sort of take that decision to go, right, well, this isn't working out for me, so I need to go do something else.
Yeah, it was scary, to be honest with you, because at that point, all I had thought about, was winning golf tournaments on the highest level, and that was all I wanted to do. Yep. And it was really, really hard. And obviously, I had experience in lifeguarding and in the fitness industry, leisure industry as such. And my first thing to do was fall back on that experience. And I come home from America and felt a little bit lost, got involved in that, and then all of a sudden I saw myself into a career path in the leisure industry, and I didn't play golf for 4 years.
Wow.
So
literally just stopped, didn't play for 4 years.
Yeah, I came home. I think I played once or twice, and I was just like, I need to work. I need to earn some money. I need to, I had, started, socialising with friends I hadn't seen for a couple of years. All of a sudden that took over, and I don't want to say I was out partying and drinking and stuff like that, because that wasn't me. I'm not that type of person. There's always that stereotypical guy who was really good when they were young, who never made it because of that. But it wasn't down to that. I just kind of saw a career in fitness, fitness and lifeguarding, and then I just wanted to be a manager of a leisure centre, which I was lucky to do in the end, and found out that was pretty stressful.
So you thought, let's go back to golf?
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't really that. It was my dad. It was with the society again. His society every year go abroad somewhere, and they took us to Saint Omer, which is where the Challenge Tour play their French. They have a French tournament there on Challenge Tour, Saint Omer Golf Club. And he just pitched up one day and was just like, you haven't played golf for ages. Do you fancy coming to France? Just a bit of a laugh with me and my mates. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah, sod it, let's do it. So went out there with him, and I think I hadn't played in 4 years.
Right.
And went to St. Omer, shot level par, never seen the course before, hadn't played for 4 years. And I was like,
wow.
okay, like didn't think much of it. And then the ferry ride home, I got a little bit of a talking to from my dad. And
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the other guys noticed it and probably talked about it quite a lot. And,
yeah, I think it was a little bit of talk going on there. My dad sat me down on the way back. He was just like, I think you can still take this far. He was very, very honest with me and just said, if you want to, then I'll support you.
that's really nice of him.
Yeah, which is always been, my dad's always been very supportive towards it and loves his golf. And yeah, he literally said it there and then. He was like, if you want to do it, just, do it. Take it up slowly again and see how good you can get.
Yep.
For the next 2 years, I'll support you. Pay for your golf club membership because obviously they're not cheap these days.
No, they're not.
Not when you come out of the junior ranks. It's all of a sudden like, oh wow,
proper money.
So he did that for me, which was amazing. And then he started playing tournaments again. Got myself back into it, and I think I got back into it. I think I got a 6 handicap. So right. I was 25. I was 25? Yeah, 25, and then got a 6 handicap. And everybody's like, who's this joker thinking that he's going to be a professional golfer and playing off 6 at 25?
Mate, well, I'm 37 plus 9, so me saying I want to be a professional golfer, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's the thing. I love that kind of thing. I love it. If somebody tells me I can't do it, next thing I'm going to do is go and do it.
Yep.
That's the type of person I am. And, it just went from there, really. And I got down to scratch within probably about a year.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, would have been about a year. Yeah, got down to scratch, and then I went and played Portugal Pro Tour 2017. I think this was back end.
Okay, so was you still an amateur at this point then, or had you turned pro?
Yeah, still an amateur. Yeah, I was off scratch. Yeah, went and played that, and I played 3 events.
Yeah.
And one of the events I got a top 10, which was considering at the time, I can't even explain to you how nervous I was. Like I don't know if you know of Ashton Turner and Billy Spooner.
I don't know.
Both Ashton played in the Open and, Billy played Challenge Tour and stuff. And I was staying with them and they're on the first tee watching my first tee shot and they could see me shaking. First time I played this professional event, I was literally physically shaking. It was hilarious.
Right.
So nervous. But yeah, no, that was really good and that was a good experience. And then that was where it was kind of like, yeah, I want to do this again.
Yeah,
I fell back with golf and...
Yeah, I've said it before to other guys, but it's kind of been sort of the light bulb moment when you're like, I can actually do this and I can hold my own against these type of players.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that was why I went there. I got the invite from Ashton because my little brother, he's actually a European Tour caddy. But at the time he was caddying for Ashton.
Right, okay.
And Ashton was like, oh, does your brother want to come just for the experience? And then that was what it was. I'd done quite well, really enjoyed it. Loved the,
Well, it must have been nice to have your brother sort of in the area with you as well then, for a bit of support.
Yeah, no, it's good. Obviously, love having him on the bag and, travelling. My first year on the EuroPro Tour, we all travelled together, me, Ashton and my brother, we were all travelling together. So
fantastic.
That was quite nice. It made it a little bit easier and, because obviously being away from home a lot of the time, it's not easy. So that was a little comfort. So, yeah, it was good.
And I guess leading off Ashton for the experience as well and keep getting, like I said, getting those routines in place and this discipline, sort of learning from him, I guess, as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ashton's like, as an amateur as well, he was unbelievable. Like, he was in the full England setups and stuff. And, as a golfer, very, very experienced at such a young age. And although he was, quite a few years younger than me, he was like amazing to me and really helped me out. Literally just telling me everything that I asked and was really open and honest with me and just wanted me to benefit from everything he knew as well. So he was quite a big one into why I turned pro and made me into the golfer I guess I am today. He helped me a lot with that.
No, great stuff. Well, thanks to Ashton then.
Yeah.
So okay, what year did you turn pro then eventually?
So I turned pro 2018. Yeah, 2018 start of I qualified for EuroPro Tour as an amateur and qualified as an amateur, and then accepted my category on the tour and got through, made the cuts, and then
Great stuff as an amateur.
Yeah, what happens then is they email you and be like, right, you've got this category on the tour, and then you have to accept the category to be a professional. So that's what I did. I wrote to him and said I'd like to accept it and play as a professional for 2018 season.
So just jumped straight in the deep end. Thought, no, don't worry about playing all these mini tours. Just go straight to Q School and see what happens.
Yeah, it's funny that literally. Oh yeah, went straight to EuroPro Tour. And my first professional event was Harleyford EuroPro Tour event.
Fantastic.
Of 2018. Yeah, it was the first event that I got into. So
how did you feel at Q School then? Obviously, that must have been even more stressful and sort of nervous compared to when you played over at the Portugal tour.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? It wasn't actually that bad. The first stage of Q School, I played at Caversham Heath. I wasn't too bad.
Okay.
You know, I know Caversham is very close to home, so it was both Q School stages were very close to home, so it was quite a little comfort for me in that respect.
That's nice.
I had my brother on the bag at the time as well, and he does something for me when he's on the bag. There's something there that's quite funny that me and him. I have never shot over par with him on the bag. I don't think so.
Really?
I always play well. He settles me in a way, and he obviously knows me very well to get the best out of him. So. I wasn't that bad. Second day of final stage of Q School, there was a little bit of nerves towards the end. I actually double bogeyed my 17th hole to miss the cut at final stage by one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit. Yeah, especially when I played. It was the blue course at Thrillford, and it was par 5, and I made 7, and I didn't lose a ball or anything. So it was a little bit of a
that's a killer.
Poo brain moment, and made a couple of mistakes back to back, and it cost me. But at the end, I still got a full category on the tour for that year.
Fantastic.
So it wasn't too much of a big deal. But at the time, it was kind of like my world had ended. So
I bet it was.
It wasn't too bad.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But you got the letter through the post and everything was all good, and you started your first ever tournament. How did you get on in your first one?
I missed the cut. I know that much. I remember the first round. I think I had 7 birdies and shot level par.
Right.
And I was pretty nervous. I'd played Harleyford a lot, obviously knowing Tyrrell well, and that's his home course. And I go whenever Tyrrell's home, I go and play with him there and stuff. So I knew the course pretty well. I had first round 7 birdies, shot level par, and in the second round, I think I shot like 2 or 3 over and missed the cut by a few. But that was more of an experience round for me.
Definitely. Well, first ever tournament on as a I guess a proper playing pro. It's not. I guess it's not a bad result, but you could have done better with your 7 birdies in the first round. But still, I think it's a good learning curve for you to move on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and that whole season was a massive eye opener. It's probably that I learned so much, literally so much. But it was an eye opener as well. You get there and you're like, these boys are good. Like I thought I was good. I play off +2 this, and I play here, and I shot course records here, and you're thinking I'm pretty damn good at golf. And then you turn up to a EuroPro event and you play with. I played with actually Stiggy Hodgson. That was the guy I played with. Stiggy.
Right.
The first 2 rounds of that event. Who obviously when I was an amateur, we were both the same age. He was in the England squad and stuff like that, so I knew the name.
Mm-hmm.
I play with him, and he's a different golfer to me, but he's good, and that was quite an eye opener for me playing with him there. I was kind of like, okay, I'm good. Maybe I do deserve to be here. I've qualified for the tour. At the same time, I've got a lot to improve if I want to, compete or even make cuts.
Yeah.
So it was a huge eye opener making it on that tour and seeing the depth of the quality of the players on there as well.
No, definitely. A lot of all the pros that I've spoken to so far have said the same thing. You think, like you said, you're a pretty good golfer at +2. You qualified through Q School. You deserve to be there, and then you get there, and it's just you get hit in the face by these other players that are maybe 5 times, 10 times better than you. But even at that level, it's like, wow, okay, I need to step up my game.
Oh yeah, massively. And looking back on it now, I took it the wrong way.
Okay.
And I let it affect my confidence, and I was like. I was turning up thinking I don't deserve to be playing with,
really?
Marco. I turn up and I'm playing with Marco at Fox Hills, and I'm on the first tee and I've got a caddy with me, and I'm like, I'm not going to beat this guy. And he even turned around and was like, why are you even here? I was just like, I know. That was how the whole season went, really, for me.
Right. Okay.
It was tough. It was an eye opener.
Okay.
Some good stories with the travel and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. There was some good, some scary stories at the same time as good stories. But
we'll leave those for another time. But okay, so obviously, your first year, like you said, a bit of a learning curve. You learned a lot how to actually sort of compose yourself on the golf course and actually in tournaments. So going into 2019. How did you get on with that season?
It was good. It was more of a building year for me.
Okay.
And I took a real bad knock after EuroPro my first season EuroPro. I took it bad. My confidence levels so low,
Wow.
borderline chipping yips, and it was. Yeah, I don't know why, but I did struggle. I struggled for the whole season.
Okay.
Never really got over it until like the back end of 2019. 2019 missed the cut at Q School by 1. That was at first stage. Unfortunately for EuroPro.
Okay.
So didn't get a card for EuroPro unfortunately that year. Which was a nightmare. It was a 2-round first. So qualifying school's 2 rounds, first stage.
Yep.
And we played the first round, and I was one behind what the mark was, basically.
Okay.
And I was out early, round 2, and the weather was absolutely horrific. To which I got off to a good start. I was through 7 or 8 holes, and I think I was level par.
Okay, good.
And looking back, when I got back in on the leaderboard, I jumped like 6 spots, so I was way within qualifying.
Yeah.
They pulled us in off the course because of the rain and the wind, and then they actually suspended play and went with round 1 results. So
that's annoying.
Went back to missing by 1. So
that dreaded one.
And then just playing Clutch Pro Tour, TP Tour, Jamaica Tour.
Yep.
And that 2019 was that, which was really good. And those kind of tournaments, I wish I'd done that in my first year rather than going straight into EuroPro.
Yep.
Because I just built so much confidence that I had lost from the year before and kind of got back to the level that I felt I was at before I turned pro. A little bit. I wish I'd done mini tours before EuroPro.
I was going to say, so obviously before, like I said, you jumped straight to the deep end, went straight to Q School for EuroPro instead of playing the mini tours. So you're saying that you probably you should have gone through the mini tours first for like a year or 2, then gone to Q School. Yeah,
in hindsight, because I feel those mini tours, even the what people don't realise is like the organisers of these mini tours, they want to see you succeed.
No, definitely.
And you have a little chat with them, and they're there to help you. And I feel like last year I did a little bit of that. I'd listened to everything that those guys had to say, and I learned a lot more. I built so much confidence to the point where, year 1 of being a pro on EuroPro, I had anxiety on every single golf shot that I hit for the whole year.
It's not a good place to be.
Exactly. And then, by the end of 2019, I'm still, not at the end, but midway through 2019 season on Jamaica, TP and Clutch, I'm stood there like, I can actually compete. I know that I can come and I could win this. If I have a good round of golf and I play well, I can win this. And there was a switch in mindset there. And that was from playing those events and, you get a top 10, then you're like, okay, all right, let's see how the next one goes. You get another one and you're like, right, okay. And it just builds from there. That's how 2019 went for me, really.
Great stuff. So we had a much better 2019. Moving into 2020, what happened? Did you go back to Q School again and try again, or have you just stayed on the current mini tours for this year?
I was going to Q School, but then obviously it's been cancelled due to COVID-19. So, it's a bit of it's going to be bad timing for everyone, this COVID thing. But I quit my job because going back EuroPro for the EuroPro my first year 2018, I was still working 2 days a week as well as traveling to tournaments and stuff, which didn't.
Oh, really?
But yeah, that was another reason. I don't want to blame that, but that was another reason why I never really gave myself the best chance. I was a typical week for me when I played EuroPro. Full schedule was travel on a Monday, play a practice round that day. The Tuesday would be Pro-Am, so either you get a Pro-Am team, which would be a 6.5 hour round of golf, or you practice in the morning, wait until you can maybe play 9 holes in the afternoon after the Pro-Am's done. So that would be a Tuesday. And then competition round 1 and 2, Wednesday, Thursday. Right. And then Friday, obviously the final day. And then I'd travel if I make the cut. You travel home on a Friday. And then I'd work 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
And then the same again on the Monday, back out travelling to wherever it was.
So you had no time to sort of relax and just take it all in and
and that was another reason
yourself.
That was another reason why the confidence took such a hit, because I never actually had like even 2 days in a row where I could sit back, be like, right, let's work on this, get back to where he was. It was just week after week. I was just I never had time to really to do it. And maybe I should have pulled out some tournaments and gave myself that chance, but I felt really close with my game at the same time as so far away. It was a bit of a weird one, but you know what golf's
like. That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I always remember we played at a tournament that year in Dublin.
Okay.
And told Faris, and we finished at about 4 p.m. on the Friday evening, and then me and my brother travelled all the way home from Dublin via car, all the way home to Oxford, and I got home at about 5:30 in the morning, and I started work at 7:30.
Wow! No wonder you were dead. Wow.
Going back 2020, I quit my job so I play at Badgemore Park. I'm still attached there and stuff, but I used to work there as well.
Right, okay.
Quit my job there in January. Went out and played a few of the Portugal Pro Tour events.
Nice.
Had quite a good start to the year there, which was quite good. I had a couple of top tens and felt really good about my game. And
good stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of Portugal tournaments, really. And then
you had some real good aspirations for this year, and then everything just got stopped because of, like you said, COVID-19.
Yeah, it was the first year that, one, I'd given myself a really good chance by obviously not working full time and having a decent sponsorship behind me to have that financial freedom as such.
Okay.
To a certain extent, golf-wise, to be able to do it full time, put my all into it. And then it's the most confident and anxiety-free that I've ever been when it comes to golf. So,
so annoying.
Yeah, it's a little bit. At the same time as I'm so excited to, get competing again this year. I'll play. So the sponsorship deal that I've kind of done, what I'm doing now, like this year, I'm not going to play much events because there's not. The way I am right now and the experience that I've got, I don't feel like paying or using all of this, this opportunity and all of the sponsorship that I have this year to play the mini tours again, and you know, as much as you're going to gain experience and you can win some money, I'm not going to be able to, you know, pick up world ranking points or, you know, qualify for a challenge tour event or get a challenge tour card through the EuroPro. So I feel like this year I'm going to be a bit more chilled with how many events I play and save myself.
Be a bit more selective in what you play and work up, actually give yourself a better sort of preparation for those tournaments as well.
Exactly, yeah. It'd be pick them wisely and then come out next year and you know have enough sponsorship behind me to be able to still do it full time next year and give myself the best opportunity I can.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you get the sponsorship or sponsorships in place for this year?
Yeah, so I sold shares.
All right.
Yeah, I sold shares. So, you know, I got a few guys at the club that were interested and I had an investment proposal that I approached probably 10 guys with. And
okay. So you sold shares in yourself?
Yeah, so I had a certain amount as a goal.
Okay.
And then, divided that out. And I think it worked out to be about £40 a share kind of thing.
Right.
As an example, and done it that way, and sold shares. So that was, and then
fantastic.
Give back a certain percentage of
my
prize money.
Right, okay. Is that prize money between every tournament or like overall for the year?
Yeah, so I paid back quarterly. So whatever I'd done it on a quarterly basis. So
that's a great idea, mate.
Yeah, no, it worked well, and obviously the calculations and stuff. It was actually quite a good way for an investor to look at it and be like, well, actually, you know, not am I only helping somebody out who's got aspirations. I can make some money here as well as. So it was.
Look out for Lloyd O'Sargi's share fund coming your way.
There you go.
When I get that sorted. But no, I think it's a great idea. I think that's really clever. Actually, I think it's a good way of, as opposed to sort of contacting companies, because they're not always forthcoming when it comes to goal sponsorship.
Yeah,
I think doing this is, especially with people who actually care about the game as well. I think it's a much better way of doing it.
No, of course, yeah. It's a lot of, at this level, you know, you can't really give much to a company.
No,
you know, it's not very often. If you do get on Sky Sports, which is a great selling point for you as a business opportunity to be a a marketing opportunity as such, but you know, unless you're winning the tournament, and don't get me wrong, that's everyone's goal. But you know, it's not very likely that they're going to see their little logo on your collar or something. No. So I felt like at this kind of level, I would never count it out. Don't get me wrong.
No, of course not.
But I felt like for me to secure what I needed, that I'd go down a different route to it. So that was where I came with that. So
I think that's really good. Really interesting way of doing it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Ace. I think that's a really good insight into yourself, first of all, and how you've come through your career, that little break you had for 4 years, and then coming back and absolutely smashing it, getting through Q school. Yeah, okay, you had a little slump, but you've come back stronger. And you're ready to go back out there and start making it as a professional golfer again. And let's see what happens in hopefully the rest of 2020, come 2021. I think it's really good.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Yeah, I've never felt so good. So,
no, good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now is your turn to make me better. So, I've been asking every pro I speak to the same questions roughly, and always end up with the last one. If you could give 3 tips to an aspiring golfer, so like I said, I play off 9. So, what would you tell me to do in the next year where I could plummet down my handicap and have a chance of doing what you've done?
Okay. So, first thing that I'd do, and this is just a course management kind of thing.
Okay.
We're not talking, technique or practice or anything like that. But if you stand over a shot, and if you ask yourself a question over every shot and say, can I pull this shot off 80% of the time?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes, hit that shot. If the answer is no, find a shot that you can pull off 80% of the time. Because I see too many people, and I'm prone to it as well, too many people will stand over 250 yards, middle of the fairway, over water or something, another hazard of some sort, and think, I can hit this shot. I'm not being funny. 250 yards, you're hitting onto a little green. Yep. You're not going to hit that 80% of the time. So it might be, that's the kind of thought process that I put behind that. So ask yourself that question, and you'll see a difference there with your course management for sure.
That's a good one.
Second thing would be inside 100 yards, like 120 yards and in.
Okay.
So getting 3-4 yardages that you like, whether that be a 3/4 54, that goes 90 yards, or and have one, even just having 1 yardage that you love with every club, and just dial it in and practice it as much as possible. Okay. That would help a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've actually got a favourable number from the tee, from the green. Sorry, really. Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, I'd probably say to you, pitch and wedge, so it's about between 145, 150. Yeah, probably be more comfortable. But I wouldn't, if I'm playing if I'm going to play a game, I wouldn't on purposely leave myself 150. So maybe that's something I do need to start thinking about, and actually sort of having a favourite yardage.
That was one of the things that I've learned from Ashton and from my brother, actually. Like, obviously, my brother caddies for Connor Syme on the European Tour now, and that was I went to the Open with them at Port Rush last year. Right. And that was one of the things, I remember the first round, walking down the first round with them. And Lyle always banged on to me about Connor loves 70-yard shots.
Right.
And he, it was at his range, there was one target, 70 yards, and he used to hit to it all day, every day, and it was just his number. And then he hit one left off the first tee, chipped out sideways, and then holed his shot for birdie from what I then later on found out is he laid up to his favourite number, and he actually holed it. And that was the first round of the first hole of the first round of the Open. And that kind of, stuck out for me. I was like, okay, knowing numbers. And then when I speak to Tyrrell, I'm like, what do I need to improve? And he's given me 3 or 4 different practice techniques and drills to help me with that kind of thing as well. And it's always been a big thing that they've gone on about. So, and then third one would be putting inside 10 feet.
Okay.
So just setting yourself up, drills, and just being really confident and holding as many as them as you can, really. That's
fantastic. That's
where everything gets better.
Well, like they say, putt for dough and drive for show, right?
That's right. Inside, the best golfers I've played with ever, they've all been absolutely mustard from 10 feet and in.
Well, okay.
And that's big one. Well, that's a big one.
I think they're 3 pretty good ones, mate, if I'm honest. Putting one's a new one. That's the first time a pro's told me about putting, so I'll take that on board. I'm making a big list of all these tips so I can relay them back to everyone at the end of the podcast, and hopefully do a special edition one where I talk about all the tips that the pros are given. So cheers for that, mate.
No problem.
No, good. Yeah, okay. Well, we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for coming on and giving us your story and your insights. I think it's been a great listen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I've taken on a lot there, I think. Especially enjoyed the bit about, if you could go back and change it slightly, you'd go back and play a few more mini tours as opposed to jumping straight into the Q School scenario. But I don't think you've done anything wrong there, mate. You've learnt a lot and you're ready to go for 2020 and 2021. So well done.
Sure. Perfect.
Okay, mate. Thanks for coming on. And enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers, mate. So that was Asa Phillips. Now, I mean, he's not had an easy ride to become a professional golfer. The ups and downs, obviously, like you said, went over to America, didn't quite work out. Came back, ended up taking 4 years off from playing golf, and then having the mental attitude to come back and go, right, I'm going to become a professional golfer. Now, I can't commend that anymore, so I think that is fantastic. And pat yourself on the back, Asa. I think that's a great thing to do, mate. I mean, he also talked about how he raised money to fund himself throughout the tournaments and become a professional golfer, selling shares in himself. I mean, there's no better way to put your money where your mouth is it, really, to say, I'm going to do this and get people to follow the journey as well and back him. So I think that's another fantastic thing that he's done. I think I'm definitely going to take that on board, see if I can get a few people to invest in me so I can become a professional golfer, and we'll see what happens. So, but no, thanks again, Asa, for coming on, and I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. I've got plenty more to come. I've managed to record quite a few in the last couple of weeks, so look forward to those coming out. There's some really good guests. If there's anyone you think I should be talking to, be it an aspiring golfer, someone who's playing on one of the mini tours, or even higher up in the EuroPros and maybe even a European Tour player, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you think of anyone I should be talking to, send me a DM on Instagram at onepodlife, and I'll see if I can get them on the show. So in the meantime, thanks guys for listening. Hope you have a good week and play well.